It was 2:17 a.m. when my phone buzzed. The screen lit up with her name, and I instinctively smiled, thinking she was just checking in from her work trip. But the words that appeared froze my chest instantly. I'm done with monogamy. I need variety. You stay. I stared at the screen, the phone trembling in my hand. My brain refused to process it. Done with monogamy? Variety? Those words didn't belong to the woman I thought I knew. My stomach turned, my hands shook, and the kitchen I was sitting in seemed suddenly foreign, cold, hostile, as if it were conspiring against me. The next morning I tried to convince myself I had misread it. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe she was joking. But the tone in her words lingered, heavy and suffocating. Calls went unanswered. Texts returned only hours later, vague and polite, almost distant. I questioned myself first. Had I been too clingy? Too predictable? Too boring? Then came the small signs. She'd tell me she was busy with meetings, yet I noticed posts on social media that hinted at late dinners, laughter with people I didn't know. My curiosity spiraled into suspicion. I found her phone on the counter once, unlocked by accident, and glimpsed fragments of conversations that were too flirtatious to be innocent. I looked away, heart hammering, but the damage was done. Seeds of doubt had been planted. The betrayal revealed itself slowly, piece by piece. Screenshots on my own phone, shared accidentally, showed her sending messages to someone she called an escape, laughing emojis and inside jokes that hadn't included me. Each revelation hit like a physical blow. I replayed moments in my head. The way she smiled at me that morning, the late-night calls she claimed were work emergencies. Everything felt tainted, as if the past months had been a carefully constructed lie. I remember sitting on the edge of our bed one night, staring at the empty pillow beside me and asking aloud, was any of it real? My own voice sounded alien in the quiet room. Memories that had once felt warm now stabbed me. Our first trip together, the lazy Sundays, the way she used to brush my hair out of my face. Each memory now carried a bitter aftertaste, a reminder that someone I loved could harbor this kind of secrecy. Finally, I couldn't keep pretending. I needed answers. When she returned from her trip, I waited until we were alone, the air thick with tension, and I asked, why? She looked down at her hands, voice barely above a whisper. I felt trapped. I wanted to explore, to see what life felt like without restrictions. I wanted to scream, to shake her until she understood what she had done. But all that came out was a hollow. And us? Was that just nothing? Her eyes filled with tears. It wasn't nothing. I loved you. I do. But I wanted more, and I thought I could have both. I was selfish. We sat in silence for a long while. I felt anger, hurt, disbelief, but also a strange clarity. She hadn't been evil. She had been human, flawed, impulsive, but her choices had consequences. And those consequences were mine to face too. The aftermath was quiet but devastating. I went through our apartment, each room a museum of memories that now felt like lies. The dishes we had bought together, the photos on the wall, even the scent of her perfume. It all carried the weight of betrayal. Yet, in that quiet devastation, I realized I had a choice. I could let this destroy me, or I could use it to rebuild myself. I chose the latter. I set boundaries, distanced myself, and for the first time in months, felt the stirrings of something I thought I had lost. Self-respect. The healing was slow. There were days I wanted to call her, to beg for what we had back, but I didn't. I had to protect the version of me that survived this. Months later, I can sit in that same kitchen where I first read the text, and breathe without panic, without the weight of betrayal pressing on my chest. I've learned that love doesn't excuse betrayal, and heartbreak doesn't erase worth. She walked out seeking variety, but I discovered something more important. My own strength, my own peace, and the knowledge that I deserve honesty, loyalty, and love that doesn't hurt this way. Sometimes I think of her. Sometimes I remember the laughter, the warmth, the life we shared. But mostly I remember me, how I stood up, how I chose myself, and how slowly I began to heal.